At this time, I'd like to call in the Honeybee Collective, please. Either the collective itself or a member of the collective who would speak for the collective of honeybees.
We are present with you.
Thank you. I just heard a humming. Was that you all?
Yes.
That was amazing. Wow. You seem pleased to be here.
It's interesting to be here and connected to this individual as we are.
It is interesting, and it's very much appreciated so that we might get a message out to humanity about the Bee Collective. First off, is there anything that you would like for humans to know about bees?
Don't be fearful of us. Don't have any worry about us. Don't be scared. We will not harm you. We mean very well. We will protect our hive. We will protect those things that are valuable to us. But we'll never harm just to harm. And we're here to provide you with the abundant riches that we have, albeit small at times. You have to understand, but the wonderful thing that we can provide to you, our honey, our source of energy. And think of it as a bit of the sun and all of the glorious flowers of your planet all brought together in one little drop. It holds so much. It holds an understanding. It holds a healing. It holds energy, all within that little drop. And so I hope you understand that it may be delicate, it may be something that is out of reach at times, but we'll always provide it for you.
We are very, very appreciative for that delicacy that you provide. Do you understand, do the bees understand how critical you are to human beings?
Yes.
To our life?
Yes. It's not just the humans that it's critical to.
True.
We provide so much more on so many other levels for the flowers, for all the other animals, for the planet. There's so much more that takes place than you could understand. Each of our hives that we have, whether they're taken care of by the humans or we have our hives in the trees or anywhere else. It's a glorious center of energy. It's like a crystal ball full of energy, all wrapped up, all in one. The healing that it has, the vibration that it puts off, it transforms everything around it. And I understand how critical we are, but we don't think of it that way. We have a job, we have a mission, and that's what we are concerned with. Fulfilling our mission, fulfilling our job, to provide that to you.
Thank you for that. That was beautiful. So speaking of the honey that you provide, I know there are some humans who don't eat animal products and feel that it is unfair to take the honey from you. How do you feel about that? Can you help us to understand?
Mm. Mm. That may be difficult to explain. We understand our mission. We understand what we are to provide. And that's what we provide. Whether or not someone decides that it is their choice to either take it or not, that is theirs. It's not our decision. And that is theirs. We cannot change that decision point, but we will always be there to provide it. It's, for one, if they don't take it, then someone else will and be utilizing it. For us, it doesn't make a difference. We are okay with that.
Thank you for that. So if we do take the honey and use it, we're not depriving you in any way or harming you in any way?
No, there's plenty for us to have. We use it as much as we can, but that's why we make so much. We understand how much we have to make. We make just enough to provide for ourselves, and then the rest for humans and other animals.
Thank you for that. That's good to know. So humans are quite amazed at your aerodynamics. Your body is quite large, comparatively speaking, in relation to your wings. And I think humans are pretty confounded and fascinated that you can get off the ground and fly so easily. Do you have anything you want to say about that?
We've never given it thought. That's quite difficult to comprehend. I think if we were to think about this difference, maybe we wouldn't fly. But all we know is, given enough space, we can fly wherever we wish. We don't think about how we're built. We just think about where we need to be and how to get back.
Wow, that's an amazingly profound statement you just made, that if you thought about it, you might never fly. That is so important for humans to understand, that when we think too much, it prohibits us from acting.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, I think that's very true. If we were to sit in our hive and think about things, about whether we could fly or not, I would imagine many of us wouldn't fly.
Wow.
Because we would be worried that we'd fall out of the sky.
That's amazing. That sounds so simple, but that's so amazing. Thank you for bringing that to our attention. That is unbelievable. Thank you. So bees have really mastered being able to work together as a collective, and humans really could learn from that. Do you have any advice for us about that?
There's no difference amongst each one of us. We're all the same. But we all have our unique mission. We all have our unique job. We all do the same thing, but yet each thing is just a bit different. We don't look at each other as being different. Mm. We all look at each other as what we have to do. And if one isn't doing what they're supposed to do, we have our way of being able to get them to maybe do something different. But we don't look at them any differently. It's yeah, it's just that when we are transformed into our Bee self, we know what we have to do at that point. Whether that's tend to the hive and that's all we do, or whether that's we fly out and we bring back pollen, take care of the queen, or even just to sit and cool the hive. We all have our mission. But yet, we don't look upon each other as an individual. We don't look upon each other as doing an individual thing. We're part of a, you said it, collective. We do things together. And we don't think about what we look like.
And so none of the jobs are considered preferable to any other, correct?
No, they're all equally as
important,
powerful. Yes. Yes.
And do those jobs change over the lifespan of the bee, or do you come in doing one role for your entire life?
You may have a specific role, but if there's a need to be filled, you know how to do that as well. You will fill in if you need to. Sometimes it happens, but for the most part, you fulfill your role for the length that you're here.
And do different types of bees gravitate towards different types of flowers? Or do you just go towards whatever's in your environment? Whatever's
around our area. We have a big area that we have to cover. And as long as there's flowers there, that's what we'll bring pollen back with.
Pretty amazing. Do the ones that fly out consider their job to be more dangerous than the ones that stay close to the hive? Or is that not
I don't believe any of us think of anything being dangerous. No.
It's not a thought that you have.
It's not the thought that we have. We just know what our mission is. Our mission is to do this. Whether that's to fly miles to get what we need or stay close. Staying close can be just as dangerous. There are plenty of things that are close that can do harm to us. Just as far as going out and collecting pollen. So we don't give it much thought. It's just the same as we don't give it thought of whether we can fly or not. And there's no need to think about what's dangerous. It's just what's our mission and how do we accomplish it.
Another valuable piece of wisdom for humans as well. Thank you. This has been very enlightening to speak with you all. Do bees also incarnate as different animals?
Explain, please.
So when you are selected from that big pile of energy that you are before you take on a body, you come in as a bee. Do you also come in as other animals sometimes? Or do you even remember that?
I have no recall of that.
That's okay if there's not a frame of reference. Just curious. We are so thankful that you came in to talk to us today. Is there anything else that you really need to communicate to humans before we go?
Just to be peaceful with us. Just to be with the understanding that we will not provide you harm. We're only there to provide you good. and comfort. If you're patient enough, if you're relaxed enough, and you are around us, we may even land on you. And we're always just wanting to connect. We're here for you just as much as you are here for us.
Wonderful. We will definitely share that information, and I'll definitely be communicating with you more in the future. Thank you for being present with us today.
Thank you.
At this time, I'd like to call in the Wasp Collective, please, or a member of the Wasp Collective that can answer a few questions for us, please.
We are here.
Thank you so much for being present with us and speaking to us in a human voice so that we may understand you better. I'd like to ask what you see as your role or mission on Earth, please.
The primary role or mission that you are asking is one to watch out for and build our small community, small collective of other wasps. It is to build a colony, to establish our presence and raise our young and enjoy the things of this planet, to be present here. Yes.
Thank you for that. So other than the experience of creating babies and building a community, do you find yourselves having any sort of mission of service to planet Earth or humanity or your fellow animal kingdom?
All insects and all animals, and as well as you humans, have that mission for the planet, for Mother Earth. Yes, we too provide back to Mother Earth in very small ways. We are not like some other insects that build large colonies or large hives, but we do. We do help pollinate, not as much as some of the bees do, because we too collect nectar and pollen, but in very small ways. It's just enough to take care of our young. But in doing so, it's helping with the plants that we pollinate. So that in itself is taking care of Mother Nature.
Thank you for that. And we can certainly appreciate that role, and we thank you for that. And we also appreciate that you're one of God's creation. But at the same time, you've gotten a little bit of a bad reputation with humans because of seemingly aggressive behavior. Would you like to speak to that?
Yes, we're very defensive of our small colonies, our hives. And yes, we have been aggressive towards the humans or other animals that may disrupt our hive. It's merely just a defensive thing. We will, yes, as you call it, attack if we need to. But really, what you must understand is we only attack when we know that we're going to be harmed in some way. We also sense the vibrations coming off of other beings, other animals, other things, more so than many other insects. And when we sense that fearful or that being afraid, generally when that happens, it means that they're going to do something to us. So that's when we will make sure that they do not.
I see. And I think that that makes sense. However, from personal experience, there have been times when I felt I was stung in an unprovoked fashion. One time I was lying in the pool in a meditative state, almost asleep, and I was stung on the pinky for no apparent reason. Definitely, I was not threatening. Can you speak to that? Or was that just sort of being in the wrong place at the wrong time? Or why would that happen?
One must understand this, that when we come in contact or we happen to find ourselves in the presence of humans, we have been so conditioned that for the most part, humans will try to destroy our way of life. So when we sense that we are around a human or we are near a human, we will be in a defensive type of posture. And it may have been that, yes, you may have been in a very relaxed state. But when this particular wasp may have landed on you, it knew that it was a human, and its reaction is to defend itself. It may have been by mistake, knowing that you may have been in a meditative state, but in this wasp, all he knew or she knew was that it must defend. It's a human.
I see. Point taken, and thank you for that explanation. So I understand that hornets are sort of fall under the wasp species, and there's a group of hornets that humans are calling murder hornets that seem to be attacking honeybees and things like that. Can you speak about that for us, please, so we can understand?
Yes. Yes, most humans do put the hornets under the same category as wasps. They are extremely different. They are even more aggressive than wasps. They're very territorial and very defensive of their surroundings. We tend not to even mess with hornets, as they are very, very aggressive. This murder hornet that you speak of, I am not familiar with. It is not something that I understand. There are many species of hornets that, yes, they are very, very aggressive and will attack anything in their area to clear it out so that they can take hold of that area. So it may be very similar to what you are experiencing.
Thank you for that. I wasn't aware that they were quite that different. Thank you. Is there a way that humans can better coexist with you? What advice would you have for humans?
I think this advice would be for any human to insect contact, to open yourself up and allow your vibration to speak to any insect calmly and respectfully. To allow yourself the understanding that you can communicate with us as well as with any other insect. And in doing so, we may relax just a bit, but you have to understand that we are a bit conditioned to the understanding that many humans will try to destroy us. But through your persistence and your calm manner, you may be able to speak with us and allow us to know that you're not going to do harm.
Thank you for that. And by the same token, I would say humans have been conditioned that wasps are a bit aggressive, and so we are kind of scared of you.
Yes.
That being the case, there are some times that we can't necessarily have a wasp home right near our property or our pool or where children and pets are gathered, because your sting can harm us. In some cases, really harm if people are allergic. So that being the case, if we have to destroy a home, do you forgive us, or is there something we should do?
One, it would be the easiest if you could allow us to be. And have that understanding that would be built. But we understand that, yes, there are some humans that may do more damage than good. So in that case, I ask that if you are going to remove one of our nests, that you do it quickly before it is too big and we have too many losses. If it is too big, we ask that you wait, and then we will be gone. We allow ourselves a bit of time to understand that there is a new birth that takes place. But once they're all brought out, then they each seek their own place to have a hive. And you can wait until it's cooler to remove that nest. There will still be some loss, but it won't be as great. I ask that you respect that.
That sounds fair enough. Thank you for that information and that advice. That was wonderful. I don't think I have any more questions. Is there anything else that you'd like to share before you go?
You just understand that each animal, each being, each insect that is here has its own mission, has its own purpose. None of them are here to inflict intentional harm, but because of circumstances and how they are conditioned, they may do so in defense of their home. But if you have a relationship with them and you can speak to them and you can do this calmly and respectfully, I believe that some of that would be taken care of and lessened.
Wonderful.
So I ask that you just do that.
Wonderful. We thank you so much, and we will do everything in our power to respect you as well. Thank you for speaking to us today. If Will's body is